Actor turned politician Vijay's last film Jana Nayagan has now landed in a censorship row. The controversy broke out after a member of Central Board of Film Certification raised objections to certain portions of the film that was supposed to release on Pongal, and the film has faced multiple delays. The matter has since reached the courts, with the makers accusing the Censor Board of violating due procedure in certifying the film. Opposition parties have seized on the issue, calling it a deliberate move to muzzle TVK chief Vijay, who is seen as a challenger in Tamil Nadu politics. They accuse the union government of weaponizing the Censor Board for political reasons. In this week's In Public Interest, I speak to Gnana Rajasekaran, retired IAS officer, former regional officer of the CBFC and a national award-winning film director, to understand how the Censor Board functions, what the procedures are for clearing a film, and how politics shapes the world of film censorship in India. Jana Nayagan is not the only film that has suffered at the hands of the Censor Board. There are many such films and filmmakers. In June 2025, we brought you the story of director Hani Tehran's film Punjab 95, based on the life of human rights activist Jaswant Singh Kalra. Why this is being done is obvious. It is not because of the film itself, but because of the politics around it. Here at the News Minute, we have been documenting how creative freedom is being curtailed in a blatant manner. If you value our work, support us by contributing to our reporting fund, by scanning this QR code and support our journalism. Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. What do you make of this controversy that is going on between Jana Nayagan and the Censor Board?
The facts before me actually is that Jana Nayagan producers, they approached the Censor Board, and the EC, the examining committee, was formed. The examining committee with four members, they saw the movie also. Then after seeing the movie, they called the producer and told the producer that actually these are the cuts and this is the certificate also. He implemented those cuts also. He implemented the cuts and then submitted it also. That's what I was told. Then after that, actually what happened was one member who was part of the examining committee. So he came out and afterwards, after the screening was over and the EC meeting was over, he submitted a complaint to the chairman CBFC, Mumbai, saying that actually, because there are some problems with the film and all that.
The movie hurts religious
sentiments, and also the army was shown in a very bad light or whatever the thing is. And on that basis, the CBFC chairman, he ordered the film should be seen by a revising committee. The procedure is like this. A film is shown and all the two male members and two female members under the chairmanship of the regional officer, they watch the film. And individually they note down the cuts actually they propose. Individually. They are given some paper, and in the paper actually they note down. So these are the cuts for this film. And the film is shown not like clinically. It is shown as a whole, as you see in the theatre. It is not that actually every reel, after that actually they discuss and all that. So till the film is over, no discussion is held. The screening is over. Then they assemble in a room, and then under the chairmanship of the examining officer, who is the RO. The overall impact actually they have to assess first. And then actually, but everyone wants actually U certificate, for instance. Generally, people prefer U certificate because it's unrestricted this thing.
Yeah.
And they will decide actually, no, it cannot be given to you, and UA can be given, or with some cuts, UA can be given. And some without some cuts actually we can give A. These are the things actually to be discussed there. The unanimous decision is taken. Okay. And then the producer is called and it is communicated. in the industry, once it is communicated, so people believe that actually censor is over. Sometimes they ask also, the professor, can I announce the date? Like that they will ask. The EO says, yes, you can announce it. If you delete actually all the cuts and submit it. So this is the generally the procedure. Normally, it happens like this.
Okay. So now, can a member go home, think about it, and take a couple of days and then raise an objection?
That is not, so far actually in my experience, actually nobody has done it. And that's not allowed also. See,
in this case, it has been allowed. In this case,
allowed, allowed in the sense.
The revising committee.
No. The point I'm making is, a member who participates in that committee, he is a part of the committee only. When he comes out, he don't have that role actually. And also, if he raised it these particular cuts and agreed for the others, then it has become unanimous. So once it is unanimous, you have no right to go out and say, because my cut was not accepted and all that. That either you write it here, because there is a provision for that. If you have got a cut which is not accepted by others, you can very well write as a dissent note.
Okay.
But as long as he has not written the dissent note, he loses that right. No, according to me, it is against the procedure. You see, take for instance, actually now in the Supreme Court or High Court, a bench is constituted, no? So three-member bench and all that. Sometimes actually you get a majority decision also. Two will support one thing and then one will dissent. So that dissent judge, he cannot come. That becomes a judgment of the court. Whether it is majority or unanimous, it becomes the order of the court, no? Same, it's a quasi-judicial function. But so far, actually, in my experience, actually, we have not come across a single case like this.
So, in your experience, sir, how many films you have handled while being there in the Censor Board as a regional officer? Because film means actually, we have feature films, documentaries, short films, etc. Actually, because all these films. So all put together, actually, 1,000 films I censored during my 5.5 year tenure. And were there some controversial films that you had to send it to the revising committee?
No, that very less. In fact, I, being a filmmaker, because for each and every cut, actually used to explain why we have cut and all that. Okay. For the filmmakers and the producers, I took a lot of time to, because for them, it's a film. They have made actually with so many expectations and all that. So if you cut, certainly you are cutting something.
As a filmmaker, it hurts.
Naturally, that's also I understand their problem. And then I explain the guideline. But why I have cut this? Because of the guideline and all that. And I'm very happy actually to say that most of the producers, they understood my explanations.
Okay. So you talked about the members of Censor Board. How are these members selected? What is the criteria of these members? Because of late what we have been hearing is, after the BJP government came into power, there have been a lot of members who have been selected from a particular ideological background.
Actually, as per the Act, actually the members are nominated by Government of India. So that has been there, actually, not from the inception. But the thing is, while appointing the members, while nominating the members, I think earlier, some matured members actually were included in that. It means in this, as a writer, some writers, some educationists.
Eminent
personalities. And in my term, because 80 persons were there as members. I can say around 20-25 members are very good members. 20 to 25 members. They represent different areas of specialization. The remaining members were not very. They just come to screening as they go to the theatres only. But I have taken the efforts to work. I conducted workshops and how to censor a film and all that. I used to give some inputs and all that. But even then, they are basically actually, most of them are political workers. The politicians actually what they do, because if they are very prominent enough, with some stuff actually, they become MLAs or some other post. The people who just actually, pasted their posters, ran with them and all that. So they always want something from government, no? So this is the thing actually they can give.
Okay. Is there a basic qualification criteria to be nominated as a member of
It is just like, when they ask us to recommend, in fact, they give some basic qualifications and all that. Qualification basically, they should be mature enough to
judge a
film.
Now, what has changed in Censor Board? Like the quality of members has come down?
Certainly.
Like what?
I don't know now, the present position, I don't know, but it is, from what I heard, is actually, that more political things have come. I have got actually, in fact, I worked under the Vijay government, UPA government, and the Janata government also.
Okay.
So all three governments I worked. But what I found, irrespective of the political backgrounds, some members are very good actually in every party. The maturity, some balanced view, maturity and all that, I find actually, in every party also.
Okay, so when you say that now there are people who have some kind of political backing, some kind of ideological backing, they are part of Censor Board. What is wrong in that?
Nothing wrong in that. But the thing is, when they come to the film, when come to the theatre, there it's a quasi-judicial function. So you have to see the film and you should be aware of the guidelines and point out actually, what are the scenes or what are the dialogues actually, which contravenes this thing. That capacity they should have, no?
So they should judge a film as a film.
As a film.
You cannot see a movie or a piece of art through your ideological lens.
Yes. All the films are not involved in this also, no? Very, very rarely you find this. And there also they can suggest something. It is wrong according to this guideline or something. Because the guidelines are very vague also. See, our guidelines, because that is deliberately, they have written the guidelines like that only. The guidelines say that you should have a minimum impact on this. You see, that interestingly, you see, the guideline says the artistic expression and creative freedom are not unduly curbed.
What has changed after 2014? The way Censor Board, the functioning of the Censor Board has changed, or has the Censor Board become more political?
There are two kinds of politics. One is actually deliberately you find some fault with that, is one thing. And some members actually they point out that. And in my term, actually I used to argue with them and find out that I try to explain to them actually. Some of the members were politically aligned to Vajpayee that time, means BJP, they agreed to also.
Okay.
But the problem is, something will happen actually only if the party takes a decision.
Okay.
Then, since the members actually with that agenda or something like that.
Okay, that there is a possibility that that the political party which is ruling the country, if they want to do something,
for instance, rumor is there. So this film is going to come, and this is going to have some scenes actually for that, and some in this, So the rumor is very prominent. Then they may come with this thing.
Okay. So there is a trend that we are seeing after 2014. There are propaganda movies that get censor certificate just like this. Kerala Story, Kashmir Files, Dhurandhar. All these movies, they show violence, they portray Muslim community in a very bad light. They're all basically propaganda movies. In fact, when these movies were screened at the International Film Festival, the international directors said that these are propaganda movies. Why are these movies being sent here? So, do you think that's something that
yes, after 2014, this kind of films actually have come up? Because I don't think in my period actually, this kind of high-pitched propaganda films actually were there. And that I think, for instance, actually that Punjab, there's a film, Udta Punjab, and then Kashmir Files, and then Kerala Story and all that. And this kind of propaganda films are not there. That is my experience actually. What is wrong with censor now is actually about the violence, I can say. Violence actually, now it is 3 times, 4 times actually, more than what was there earlier. The lacuna in censor is there is a public approval also. That plays a major role in censor.
There is also an allegation that after income tax, CBI, Enforcement Directorate, all these are being weaponized for political purposes. Political parties now allege that the Censor Board is also being weaponized to target, political adversaries. What is your take on that?
No, my take is actually, we see, as Ambedkar said, about the constitution. He said, the constitution may be good. The man who operates the constitution, if he is bad, it's a bad constitution only. Similarly, if even constitution is bad, the operator is good, you cannot complain about the constitution. That is what actually he said. Same thing only I say about the censor. Censor, actually, if you give it to the system itself, nothing much will be there. If you have some, your own access to grind, if the authorities actually know, so certainly it is that kind of thing is justified that way. That statement, no, because like CBI is also a professional body. Once it was considered as a very professional inquisitive system. But CBI with whom? At the hands of whom? That makes all the difference, no? And that too, sometimes they don't do anything also. Just actually, CBI will do very professionally and all that. And finally, what they do is actually, they don't take any decision actually on that. Just leaving it as it is will give a lot of political dividends actually, A system is weaponized. But it is not a mistake of the system. It is a mistake who operates it.
There are also some directors like Ram Gopal Verma who say that, time has come, we should abolish Censor Board. What do you think?
What he says, actually, there's a point in it, because after the Netflix, all that, they do all kinds of things, and internationally also they are doing it. Even actually, because earlier the adult films are not available. That kind of the way we have nowadays. And in this, you are finding a small jerk actually in a dance, you are cutting it. So that sometimes actually, it is ridiculous actually. But the other way, because I find actually, the logic of censor. The logic of censor is in a country like India, where different languages, religions, and so many multi groups are there. In this actually, because if you are not having a censor, there should be some playground actually, where the rules are made. How many people are not following the rules is not the thing. But such a rule is there. Football has to be played in that. So that itself actually makes so many good things actually in the society. For instance, even in fact, producers will insist on censor. Because here, anybody here can say, my sensitivity is affected by this. Anybody can say in a society like Indian society, So it is very difficult to convince him also. If no censor is there, censor will not be affected from violence point of view or sex point of view. But other point of views, actually, like for instance, actually this is the thing, like a public order. Public order is very, very dangerous that way. Anybody can do anything. But the thing is, the remedial method will not be there. You see, for instance, actually, if they say this particular scene is, a film is shown without censor, it is affecting our Muslim society or Hindu society, this society, that society, is caste, that caste and all that. At least actually, there is a system now. They are supposed to have seen all this actually. So naturally, censor actually you cannot just throw away like this. Because it is favorable to producers basically. Otherwise, they have to go to all courts actually. So, one in Thuthukudi, somebody will go to the court, this affected our accessibility. Another fellow in Vellore will go. So, everyone will. So, now at least actually, there is an agency, they have seen, they have given the certificate. We are accountable only to him. That is the. So, naturally, censor is required actually for other reasons also.
Okay. Right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing us all your insights about this issue. and the Censor Board. Thank you so much.
Thank you.